Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Keisha. Today I'm here and I'm outside in the beautiful weather. It's a little bit hot, but nevertheless I'm here. I'm bare feet because that's what I do these days. I come in nature and I just connect to the earth and I take my shoes off and I release some of the toxic energy from our body is built up in the body. And so now I remember when I made my first conscious choice not to walk bare feet anymore. I was like standing outside of my house when I was about 11 years old, and I remember we used to, be outside dirty, and my foot will be dirty up until my crotch or whatever. And I remember one day I got up and not having as much guidance as how a young woman or boy or girl should take care of their self and their personal hygiene. I made a conscious choice one day that I wasn't gonna walk bare feet anymore, and I wasn't gonna let my feet get dirty anymore, and I've been doing it ever since. And now that I understand the level of about health and who we are as a people, I've recently started to walk barefoot more often and just take my shoes off and be in nature and hug a tree and just be myself, I guess. So today I just want to talk a little bit about earth, what earth is, because there's a lot of misconception, and I don't know if I have the real or the true story, but the one I resonate with, and I haven't find out all the details of our creation, why how we came into life. I think God was the one that really instilled life into us, and that's the whole thing. And it goes back to another story of the garden, and Eve found out that we were more powerful than the gods that we have been worshiping or whatever they were worshiping at the time. There have been a lot of gods that has been on this earth, and there's still a lot of gods here that people worship a lot of different things all over in the earth. Some people worship human being, animals, and statues and stuff like that, right? So but there's a few story out there. You can go on YouTube, you could go look it up and see what story resonates with you. But as I said, it doesn't matter how we got here. We're here now, and earth is really a school. So we are really here to learn lessons, and God knows we haven't been learning the lessons because nobody this information is not really popular, I guess. But if you look at your life and all the stuff that has been happening in your life, you would see that even through my journey here, I have learned so much things that even when people try to attack you or try to put you down or not believe in you or cheat on you, whatever people do to you, it's like you're supposed to learn something from it. And once you start getting the idea that everything that happens in your life it's because of a reason, then you start to take these lessons in and you start to use it in your day-to-day life. And it's really what it's about. So we are here, and we are here to find self. And a lot of us die, and as I said, I think what I now know that reincarnation does exist, and we do live more than one lifetime. Because if that was the case and we came here and we did all these terrible things and then we die and we wouldn't have a place in heaven, how terrible would our father be in heaven, or whatever, or whoever it is, or a mother would be to just write off his kids the minute they did something. Remember, we don't have understanding of who we are and why we are here. So if you don't have basic understanding of what earth is and why you are here, and the rules that governs the rules that governs the earth, because there are rules that governs the earth. And if you are not aware of any of this, how could a loving father or mother, God, that would take his children and burn them in eternal fire? It would be stupid and dumb. And until you start to recognize that that couldn't be true, because we all have children, we all have family, and sometimes our family has done terrible things to us, but yet still we don't burn them in hell, and you know, we don't write them off forever. I know some of us, you know, we tend to have that spirit, because there are parts in the Bible that tell us that, you know, if the right hand offend you, you should cut it off, or there are a lot of things you could go in the Bible and use that to justify you being unkind to others. But if you really understand that you I mean, there are times when you have to stand up for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why God wants us to be strong. And that's why He wants us to learn all these lessons, so we can grow the armor that we need, so that we don't have to always have to fuss about the small things. We could wait until the big things come along, and that's the time that we would start to, you know, defend ourselves in that manner then. So yeah, so earth is a school, and we're here to learn lessons, and if we don't learn our lessons, we're gonna die. Some of us might die earlier than some, and you know, and some of us came here knowing that we were gonna die early. So it's like we get so worried about death and so much things because we don't really understand the concept. And it just goes back to tell you that if you don't know who you are, and if you don't know why you're here, and if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, then you're going to be left with the idea of people is being born and being killed or die, and that's it for them, and you never see them again. And you know, but when you get the concept and understanding that we really are all just one, you know, we're just here to learn these things and to get to the evolution of love and oneness. And when you get to that state, I guess that's the time that you maybe reincarnate voluntary, as I think maybe Jesus reincarnated voluntary. So if we're here to learn these lessons, and it might be small things, you know, because I mean, in your day-to-day life you might have problems, because when I started healing and I recognized that the people who were triggering me weren't really the problem, because let me tell you, when you have certain understanding, you now know that these people are in a low vibrational energy, and they are tied to certain trauma events and situation, and they're always going to be creating those events and situation for themselves. So you have to be in a higher conscious mind now, or in higher consciousness, to know that, okay, why would this man, you know, rape this baby and kill her and stuff like that? Now you understand. Now you learn about demons, and you learn about all these other entities that exist that we can't see. And when you understand that a normal loving human being that God had created would not do terrible things like this, then you start to say, oh my God, then this person must have been possessed. This person must have had some issue with, you know, with bad energy and entity, and allowing them to help him. And then, you know, they will show up for you, and they'll make you feel powerful and strong, and they'll tell you to touch other people, little girls and little boys, or whatever the situation might be. But the minute you do it, after the thought comes, because we believe our thoughts, we think our thoughts, you know, that's us. But when you get to understand that your thought is not really you, and you can question those thoughts, you could ask, like, who is this? Why is this? You know, why am I supposed to do that thing? You know, what am I going to get out of it? And sometimes these entities, they will answer you, because it's just like there's a lot of things going on and we don't really get it. So it's like you have to just get in the mindset of knowing that we're here to learn, and everything that you have been through in your life, when you start to heal and you're on your journey, you get to understand that these things are useful in your journey. They were useful, and you might not have catch it at the time, but when you start to, you know, become more vulnerable to the spirit, and you allow them to use you, then you have all these new realization that you never had before, and you start, you know, being more mindful of your life, the things you're saying, the things you're doing, start to become more mindful of them. Because as I said, whatever you try to create for another person is only going to come back to you. So when you have these understanding, and you understand that you're not to, you know, to blame or to have judgment, because you have to understand that people don't love themselves, people don't know who they are, they don't understand anything, and they have all these things that's, you know, it's trigger, and it's annoying. it's really annoying because when you go to work and people try to come at you, in your mind they're coming at you or whatever, but you don't understand that these people are hurt people, and hurt people. So when people are hurt and they're going through hurt, that's the time you see them lash out. The people who seems to be the strongest are always the weakest. The ones who shout a lot and behave in boisterous manner, they're the most hurt. And when you understand that, then you can have compassion for others. And once you start to learn all these lessons and you start to embody truth, yeah, your life become an example. When you start to embody truth, your life becomes an example to others, and now you could live your truth, and God will shine, her light through you. And when I come here and I talk about God as her or as him, you don't have to take me serious, because God could be whatever you want it to be to you, understand? So it's like people worship the universe. As I said, people worship a woman God, a man God, and we know the hurt is feminine, and you can also do whatever pleases you. It's not about that at all. It's only about embodying truth, knowing who you are, trying to be a better person. At the time, you start to understand. So we only come here to learn these horrible lessons, some of them are. So once you start embodying all these truths, that's a time when you are able to start to see other things and know other things, and life become a little joyful, because let me tell you, when I was going through my dark night of the soul, let me tell you, I looked around and I was like, what the hell is this place? Like, why the hell? I was cursing bad words. Don't let me tell you, because I might not want to curse on here, but I do curse and I'm not afraid to. So I was cursing like, what did I come here? What the hell is this place? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, is this what my life is going to be about? Like, I was ready to go find a tree. Let me tell you, I was ready. If I didn't have my 2 children, I would have, because I looked around and I realized that what I was doing and what I thought I was living for was really an illusion. It's an illusion. This whole situation, this whole earth situation is an illusion. Nothing is real here, and that's why you can't take anything from here but your soul, the love you carry with you. That's all you will take with you. And it's hard to accept these things. It's hard to accept the fact that you're the one who is really creating your life, or you're the one that has the keys and the tools to change your own life. And and that's why I'm even here doing what I'm doing, because once I realized that nobody was coming to save Keisha, and I had to save myself. No Jesus was coming back. I know sometimes we sit down and we rely on that story and we use it to feed ourselves, and we get comfortable being a nobody, because Jesus will come back and save us. So we sit around and we be nobody and we wither away, and that's our life. And that's what they talk about in the Bible, where people live for how many years and you don't hear about them anymore, and people come here and live 1 month and they're here forever. Jesus died at 33, I don't know, but whatever they said, he died. And listen, he's the most famous person that has ever lived. I don't know, I was not there, and I'm not here to determine if Jesus ever lived, but I know some of the stuff that he left here. I use it now because it resonates with me. It shows up in my body as truth, you understand? Regardless of the fact that they turn it into a religion, you can still go there and you can find peace in the word. And that's what I'm trying to live my life by. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. You have to be the one to get up and go do what you have to do for yourself, and not thinking that anyone is going to do it for you. No mother, father, sister, brother, granny, uncle, cousin, nobody will. So guess what? Get up, shake yourself off, find God, find God, find God, the real one, and do your thing, and everything will be fine. So as I said, we're here to learn these harsh lessons, and once you start learning these lessons, I had to stop lying. And I didn't lie about big things. It was just like, did you do that? Yes. Did you do that? Even when I didn't do it, stupid things. But now it's like, I'm bold. You know, I speak the truth and I don't care what nobody else think about it. Like, you could, you know, you could be mad at me for speaking my truth, but guess what? You cannot let me feel small about my truth, because, you know, it's something that I have embodied. It's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to embody these new energy and these new lessons. And since I've started to learn these lessons that I came here to learn, let me tell you that my life has been so much easier. And even though I've not been seeing the results in so many sense, but I can feel the results, and you already know that it's already done, so you don't have to worry about anything. And that's just it. That's what life is, and it takes us a while sometimes to figure it out, but God is patient. You know, she's waiting, and when you're ready, she's available. Remember to like, comment, and share, and subscribe to my channel. I am Keisha. Bye.